Please welcome to the stage, Ivanka Trump.
I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid.
Hello. Thank you, Mercy. And hello, Fort Myers. Oh, I love you all. 4 years ago, Florida elected a builder, an entrepreneur, an outsider, a proud champion of America to fight for the forgotten men and women of this country, and that is exactly what he's done.
A good day to everybody. Today I'm going to present to you my second video on NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. That's how to develop our English speaking ability through Neuro Linguistic Programming. Neuro Linguistic Programming is a psychological method that we can use to develop many skills. But here in our video that we focus on developing our speaking ability. In neuro-linguistic programs, what we do is just to identify some very important features or the characteristics or the talents of some of the other people and try to emulate them, follow them by observing them very carefully and getting them internalized within us. Then there's a possibility even for us to be people like them and then go beyond that. It doesn't mean, Neil, that we are following them, copying them. Then there comes a particular situation for us to go beyond that particular situation. So I did my first, you see now, video on Michelle Obama. You know that her speeches have become very famous today. People are watching her speeches. And today I'm going to introduce to you such a wonderful speaker, eloquent speaker in the world today. She is none other than um, Ivanka Trump, Donald Trump's daughter. You know that she is becoming more and more popular, and all the people right in the world are becoming highly interested in the speeches now she does. And I have observed and identified a number of important qualities or the characteristics of the speeches she uses, and which I think that we can follow and try to develop our own skills of public speaking. And one such important characteristic is the voice and tone that she uses. Now, her tone and the voice is very clear and that is articulate and measured. You see, now she speaks with such a good pace. She doesn't rush to speak as the other people do, and she's not slow. And this particular quality, that the clarity of her voice with this particular moderate pace, you see, now people find it very easy to follow her, to understand her. In the next video clip that you can see or watch and try to understand the pace of her speech and her voice and the tone that she uses.
Good evening. Thank you. 1 year ago, I introduced my father when he declared his candidacy. In his own way and through his own sheer force of will, he sacrificed greatly to enter the political arena as an outsider, and he prevailed against a field of 16 very talented competitors. For more than a year, Donald Trump has been the people's champion, and tonight, he is the people's nominee.
And the second feature, as I have noticed, is this facial expressions. And she is very composed on stage, and she, to me, uses empathetic facial expressions, which help her to get the attention from the audience. In such a way, so that she can the second feature, right, of her speeches, as I have observed, is her facial expressions, and she's um, and the second feature that I have observed, right, in her speeches is her facial expressions. Now, she maintains a composed sort of, you see now, and the second feature that I have noticed that in her speeches is facial expressions. She is very composed on stage, and I have also noticed, you see, now that she uses this empathetic facial expressions. And the second feature that of her speeches is the facial expressions that she uses as she is well composed on stage. And also, you can see that she sort of is maintaining empathetic facial expressions, which help her to get the attention from the audience. Now, attention is very important, right? Getting the attention from the audience is very important. You say when you are going to do a public speech, and this is very nice done by Ivanka Trump, that in her speeches. And the emotional level is very important. Now, she sort of, you see, now trying to speak to the emotions of the people rather than talk to the mind of the people. And with that, you see, now with that ability, now she involves the audience emotionally, right, in the speech that she does.
Good evening. Thank you. 1 year ago, I introduced my father when he declared his candidacy. In his own way and through his own sheer force of will, he sacrificed greatly to enter the political arena as an outsider. And he prevailed against a field of 16 very talented competitors. For more than a year, Donald Trump has been the people's champion. And tonight, he is the people's nominee.
She does. And the next, the capturing the audience, as I have already, discussed this one, and you see now she gets the attention from the audience in a very remarkable way, and how she gets the attention is something that for us to now observe in her speeches. But I find that she is really confident when she speaks to the people, and she's very passionate about the topics of interest to her. This passionate way of speaking has kept the audience completely engaged, right, in her speeches. And
real change, the kind we have not seen in decades, is only going to come from outside the system. And it's only going to come from a man who has spent his entire life doing what others said could not be done. My father is a fighter. When the primaries got tough, and they were tough, he did what any great leader does. He dug deeper, worked harder, got better, and became stronger.
and then the clarity of the speech. Now you see her speeches are well structured, and she doesn't say more. She says neither more nor less, and what is to be said is said in a very clear way, so that the audience can very easily understand her. And this quality contributes to the effectiveness of the speeches done by Ivanka Trump.
I have seen him fight for his family. I have seen him fight for his employees. I have seen him fight for his company. And now I am seeing him fight for our country.
And then the language. That's also a very important feature, and she uses a very simple language, and she doesn't use difficult terms or the polysyllabic words, and she doesn't use any technical jargons right in her speeches, and her language is very simple, and that is accessible to the people, relatable to the people, and this is also a quality that we got to develop right in giving speeches right to the public. And the next.
It's been the story of his life, and more recently, the spirit of his campaign. It's also a prelude to reaching the goal that unites us all, when this party, and better still, this country, knows what it is like to win again. If it's possible to be famous and yet not really well known, that describes the father who raised me. In the same office in Trump Tower, where we now work together, I remember playing on the floor by my father's desk, constructing miniature buildings with Legos and erector sets, while he did the same with concrete, steel, and glass. My father taught my siblings and me the importance of positive values and a strong ethical compass. He showed us how to be resilient, how to deal with challenges, and how to strive for excellence in all that we do. He taught us that there is nothing we cannot accomplish if we marry vision and passion with an enduring work ethic.
And the next one, her presence right on stage. And she sort of creates a very positive atmosphere with her presence on stage. When she comes onto the stage, that you can see the audience becomes highly interested in okay until she speaks to them. They're really positive, and people are waiting impatiently to listen to her. And this particular positive atmosphere that she creates on stage is a wonderful thing that we must also try to develop this particular quality by following the technique that she uses for this. And the
He showed us how to be resilient, how to deal with challenges, and how to strive for excellence in all that we do. He taught us that there is nothing we cannot accomplish if we marry vision and passion with an enduring work ethic.
empathy and the connection, and this I just talked to you on. Yeah, empathy means your ability to look into the interest of the other people and to look into the framework of the other people. Because when you're going to the talk to a particular audience, and you have to understand who the audience is, because if you are going to talk to them something that they are not interested in, I don't think that they would perhaps be engaged in listening to you. And one technique she uses here is this personal anecdotes. It's a very important one. You might have noted that Ivanka Trump very often brings in a lot of stories that from her life and from the life of father, and this sort of using creates her style, a narrative style, and it has been noticed you see now in the world today, and the most effective style of speaking is the narrative style, and we all are highly interested in listening to stories, even the adults and all the people. So when Ivanka Trump speaks to people, it's just like she's telling a story, and the people in the audience are sort of listening to a story, and this quality is also a very important one that you got to develop within us for us to give a very very effective speeches to the people. And think about these qualities that I have just told you, and try to follow her and listen to my more speeches done by Ivanka Trump. And there are many more right, characteristics and the features that you got to identify in her speeches. That I haven't just talked to everything about those techniques, but you got to right listen to her and try to identify more qualities and try to develop these features or the qualities within you. Thank you.
One of my father's greatest talents is his ability to see potential in people before they see it in themselves. It was like that for us too growing up. He taught us that potential vanishes into nothing without effort, and that like him, we each had a responsibility to work not just for ourselves, but for the betterment of the world around us. Over the years, on too many occasions to count, I saw my father tear stories out of the newspaper about people whom he had never met who were facing some injustice or hardship. He'd write a note to his assistant in a signature black felt tip pen and request that the person be found and invited to Trump Tower to meet with him. He would talk to them and then draw upon his extensive network to find them a job or get them a break. And they would leave his office, as people so often do after having been with Donald Trump, feeling that life could be great again.